I'm going to show you two apps that do the same thing, and I want you to tell me which one you trust with your credit card. So it took you about 2 seconds to pick the second one. But what's interesting is that the first app actually has more features and options, but you still did not trust it. That 2-second gut reaction is not random. It's the result of about a dozen design decisions that the second team made before they ever opened a design tool. Decisions that most designers never think about because they're trying too busy picking up colors, corner radiuses, design system management, all of that stuff. I'm going to break down what those design decisions are, show you how the best apps in the world make them and how to use AI to make them 10 times faster. Every screen in your product exists for one reason. The user is trying to do something, check out or find a project or change settings. The moment you forget that and start designing around what should the page contain, you end up with a screen that technically have everything but feel like a junk drawer. Stripe's checkout is the clearest example. Name, cart, pay. 3 fields and that is it. They did not start with what does a checkout page need. They started with the user wants to finish this purchase and get on with their life. And then they removed everything that wasn't helping that. Linear does the same thing, but a bit differently. The project view doesn't show you everything at once. The sidebar collapses when you don't need it. The filters are contextual. The information density actually changes depending on what you're doing. Compare that to Jira, where every view dumps every column and options on you whether you need it or not. Same data, but completely different experience. Because one team designed around intent and the other team designed around features. So here's the practice. Before you open any design tool, write down 3 things. What is the user's primary goal on this screen? What is the single most important action and what you can remove without breaking that? This is where AI actually helps. In Figure, you can describe the user goals and it maps the full user flow before you touch a single screen. Journey diagrams, decision points, branching paths, and it surfaces states you'd miss. Like what happens when a validation fails, mid-checkout flow, or the user hits black. You're not skipping the thinking. You're getting something to think against before you've committed to a layout. This one's the easiest to explain with an example. Open Settings app on your iPhone. Every row in the same height, every toggle is in the same position, every subpage follows the same navigation pattern. You have never needed a tutorial for that app. The system is so consistent that you can predict what any screen looks like before you've seen it. That's not boring design, that's system disappearing, so the user can focus on their task. Now go browse SaaS dashboards on Dribble. Card border radius is 12 pixels on one screen and 8 on another. Buttons are blue here, purple there, and they seem tiny, but each inconsistency is a micro decision the user's brain has to make. That is cognitive load that they should not be spending your actual product on. Not wondering why this card looks different from that card. 4 things need to stay logged across your whole product. Spacing on a consistent scale. If you're using 8 pixel increments, never use 10. Colors with semantic meaning, blue for primary actions, red for destructive, gray for secondary, and not just colors that you like. A fixed typography hierarchy rarely moves than 6 sizes for an entire product. And predictable component behavior. If a card is clickable on one page, that same card style should be clickable everywhere else. Building that by hand from scratch takes a long time, so I use Figure AI, where you upload screenshots of your existing product or import Figma frames, and it extracts your actual design tokens, colors, typography, spacing, component patterns. When you generate new screens, it uses your system, not a generic template. So your settings page looks like it belongs to your dashboard because it is pulling from the same source. Every design works with perfect data. The hard part is the 0 state and the 10,000 state. What does your dashboard look like when user has nothing in it? And what does it look like when they have so much data that the layout cannot hold it anymore? Those two extremes break almost every design I've reviewed, and most designers never test either one. But Revolut clearly did. Their transaction list isn't one design, it's about 6. Pending looks different from completed, failed payments have specific error messaging, currency conversions show both amount. Each of those is a separate design decision somebody made, and each one prevents a user from getting confused and calling the support. Now, Duolingo takes us way further. They don't just design for functional edge cases, they design for emotional ones. When you miss a day and your streak is kind of breaking, that's the moment most users quit a habit app. Duolingo's response isn't a reset counter. It's a streak freeze, a sad owl, and a full flow designed to pull you back in. They treated the worst moment in their user experience with the same care as a new feature launch. Here's the practice. When you finish a design, write down every state that isn't default. Empty, error, loading, overflow, permission denied, first time user, then open each one of these and design it. In Figure, you can speed this up by running a review on any screen. It flags issues against patterns from over 200,000 UX patterns. Things like touch targets that are too small, contrast that fails accessibility, and missing states, interactive elements with no feedback. You're still designing. The AI is just making sure that you don't ship something you forgot to check. And yeah, that's it. Start with user's intent and not the interface. Design a system, not a collection of screens. Then break everything on purpose before your users do it for you. And that's the entire difference between a design that gets liked on Dribbble and one that actually ships and retains users. Figure is free to start to try out the workflow. Link is in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.